Hey there, I'm Dr. Angela Zeckman. Do you ever feel like maybe food is pretty much the only thing that makes you happy? Do you ever wonder if maybe you're a food addict? Do you look forward to eating with sort of delicious anticipation? Does the idea of giving up pizza or cookies or chips feel really difficult? How are you supposed to give all of that up if it feels like it's the only thing that's pleasurable for you in life? Well, that's what I want to discuss with you today. If you don't know me, I'm a board certified obesity medicine specialist, and I'm also the founder of Journey Beyond Weight Loss, an online program designed to help people lose weight and keep it off. So, if you've been watching my other videos, you know sugar and flour is dangerous for your health. As a matter of fact, sugar and flour cause untold misery and early death. The research is very, very clear. However, the idea of giving up these products, the sweets and the flavored coffees and the pasta and the bread and the crackers and the cereal, all that stuff might just make you twitch. And it might feel like you're just giving up one of the only things that gives you pleasure in life. And I want to help you understand why. Because these don't have to be your only pleasures in life. There's actually something going on in your brain that I want to explain to you. It's called dopamine downregulation, okay? Dopamine downregulation. So here's what happens. I want you to imagine, this is an analogy, I want you to imagine a big block of ice and it's sitting on a hot driveway. That block of ice is going to melt very, very slowly, right? But now I want you to imagine that we've taken that block of ice and we've chopped it up into little ice chips and spread that all over the driveway. And guess what? You got a flood on your hands. Lots and lots of water very fast. Well, this is what is different about normal food and processed food. Normal food, let's say you got an apple. An apple has sugar in it, but it's going to get released very, very slowly. And then the brain, it's going to release dopamine in the brain very, very slowly. An apple tastes good, but it's not like Wang, right? It's not like a whole bunch of pleasure all at once. But you take sugar and flour and you process it down into little bits the way the food industry does. And then they make foods like candy bars and donuts and pizza and crackers and all that crap. And they turn it into something that is going to get absorbed very, very quickly, just like those ice chips, and it's going to flood your brain with dopamine really fast. This, by the way, is exactly the same thing that happens with street drugs of abuse. They're flooding the brain really quickly. And you might know that sugar is actually 8 times as addictive as cocaine. Now, our brains were not made to handle that much dopamine that fast. And so our brains make adjustments. What happens is called dopamine downregulation. What that means is the dopamine receptors, we get fewer and fewer and fewer of them over time of constantly stimulating our brain like that. So when we have fewer dopamine receptors, that means we're not getting pleasure from ordinary things in life. And so sometimes people can feel depressed and lethargic, okay? And in order to just feel normal, you have to have lots of whatever it is that's going to create the dopamine rush. So one cookie doesn't do it anymore. You need 2 or 3 or 4 more. One piece of pizza doesn't do it anymore. You need 2 or 3 or 4 more. You need lots of dopamine in order to get those dopamine receptors adequately stimulated. Okay? This is why it might feel like this is your only pleasure, because this is the only thing that gives you that dopamine rush. Now, can you see how this is going to cause weight gain and misery for you, right? So what you need to do, you have to stop eating the sugar and flour products. And in the beginning, it can be a little bit challenging. There's no question. You might have some cravings. You might have some withdrawal symptoms. You might feel lethargic. But here's the deal. On the other side of all of that, you're going to get more dopamine receptors. The brain actually heals itself. So the brain is going to regenerate those dopamine receptors. And then before you know it, tomatoes taste wonderful. And you're losing weight. Nutritious foods taste delicious. You're going to find that you get more pleasure from lots of things. You're going to look at a sunset and be amazed at the beauty of the sunset. Sex is going to feel so much better. You're going to have lots of pleasure from lots of other things, and you're going to feel less lethargic, more vibrant, and just feel less anxious and happier. Okay, so can you see that getting off sugar and flour is not just good for your physical health, but it's also good for your mental health as well? Cool. Now, you need to understand something. The food industry has a keen interest in making sure that you stay dopamine downregulated and addicted to their products, right? So I have prepared a short document for you. It's called 5 Dirty Little Secrets the Food Industry Doesn't Want You to Know. This way you can get yourself educated about what their little tricks are, because you want to get off that stuff and get your dopamine receptors re-regulated. So go to the link in the description, download that document right now, and have fun getting healthy. And I'll see you next time. Take care.